It's showtime, folks.
Breaking down the best four songs.
This is Mount Rockmore.
I already got your answers. Never, 3 inches, time daily on a boat, and with my finger.
Yeah, that's an entirely different kind of Mount Rushmore we're talking about. This is Mount Rockmore. This is a very special edition of Mount Rockmore here. I had just turned 2 years old. Bower at 2 years old. And this album was released 48 years ago. And today I bring you a very special Mount Rockmore, the Mount Rockmore of Mount Rockmores, if you will. And that's the Mount Rockmore of Led Zeppelin 4. I mean, Zeppelin 4, the quintessential Led Zeppelin record, turning 48 years old today. And when you're looking at the Mount Rushmore of Led Zeppelin albums, 4 is definitely on, it made me the first position, if you will, of Mount Rushmore. So today, I have to face the incredible undertaking of naming the Mount Rushmore, the 4 album-defining songs of one of the all-time greatest rock albums. In fact, not just one of the greatest all-time rock albums, one of the greatest all-time rock albums of all time. I know that sounds redundant, and it is, but holy shit, this is beyond challenging. I mean, I think I'd rather tackle actually climbing Mount Everest. But that hasn't stopped me every week so far in doing this. Easy to do when I'm talking about the 3rd episode here, but here we are. This is going to be an undertaking. On Led Zeppelin 4, there are only 8 songs. Only 8 songs. I've got to, and frankly, every one of those 8 songs virtually iconic in and of itself. Each one could be considered one of the 4 greatest classic rock songs of all time. But now I've got to do subsets and categories of this all to get to you the 4, and I'm sweating here, but I've created my list. I'm ready to chisel away the 4 album-defining songs from Led Zeppelin 4, which turns 48 years old today. So, happy birthday to Led Zeppelin. Happy birthday to Led Zeppelin 4. First off, here we go. I got to do the play-in. Now, again, I can only pick 4 songs out of 8 that are just iconic songs. So first off, the most notable, when you look at the album, for those of you who had the album, Led Zeppelin 4, the most noticeable thing about Led Zeppelin 4 is that the band's not even featured on the cover anywhere. Legendary guitarist Jimmy Page said, "The cover wasn't meant to antagonize the record company. It was designed as our response to the music critics, who maintained that the success of Led Zeppelin's first 3 albums were driven by hype and not talent." So, according to Jimmy Page, they decided to just strip everything away and let the music do the talking. And my play-in, can you tell I'm nervous, is probably the first indication as to how challenging it is to pick the rest and the best out of the 4 of the 8 tracks in this iconic rock album. It has been called one of the greatest headphone tracks of all time. That's due to Robert Plant putting the finishing touches on the track with multiple vocal overdubs, the split back and forth between unison and harmony, strong drum track from John Bonham, John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page doubling each other, harmonizing on the main theme. So I give you the play-in, not even on the top 4. This is one that could replace any of them on the top 4 with the play-in. I give you the Mountain of Mount Rockmore, Misty Mountain Hop from Led Zeppelin 4 on Mount Rockmore.
Flowers in their heads. not what you see. And baby, 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 do you like it? There you sit, sitting spare like a book on a shelf, rusting. Trying to find it. You really don't care if they're coming. Oh, oh, oh. I know that it's all a state of mind. Ooh. If you go down in the streets today, baby, you better open your eyes. Whoa, yeah. Fall down there, really don't care, really don't care, don't care, really don't. Which way the pressure lies. So I decided what I'm gonna do now. So I'm packing my bags for the misty mountains, where the spirits go now. Over the hills where the spirits fly. I really don't know.
Makes a big difference when you got the headphones on, indeed. Misty Mountain Hop are playing for the Mount Rockmore version of Led Zeppelin 4, and it's just the goddamn playing. Man, this Mount Rushmore is going to have more regrets than Charlie Sheen's Little Black Book. I can feel the anxiety already waking me up at 2:17 tomorrow morning. The pressure's on my chest here, but onward we trudge. All right, first song we're carving into Mount Rushmore of Led Zeppelin 4 songs. Today, Mount Rockmore, probably my all-time favorite Led Zeppelin song. Maybe because I was born and raised in the state. Maybe because I, too, loved a woman who would drink all of my wine. And while Led Zeppelin has taken a lot of grief from blues fans for heavily relying on lyrics from other artists in their earlier work, that borrowing went on for quite a long period of time throughout the Led Zeppelin era, including Robert Plant listening to Count Basie in a song called Going to Chicago. Led Zeppelin knew they couldn't call a song very similar to that on any level, so they changed it to this. And the first song on the Mount Rockmore of Led Zeppelin 4 officially is Going to My Home State, California. That's the first of 4. It's going to be tough. Mount Rockmore.
Spend my days with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drink all my wine. Made up my mind, make a new start, going to California with an aching in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair. Took my chances on a big jet plane. Never let them tell you that we're all the same. Oh, the sea was red and the sky was gray. wondered how tomorrow could ever follow today. Mountains in the canyon start to tremble and shake. The children of the sun begin to wake. Watch out. It seems that the wrath of the gods got a punch on the nose and it's starting to flow. I think I might be sinking. Throw me a line if I reach it in time. Meet you up there and the path runs straight and high. Find a queen without a king. They say she plays guitar and cries and sings. La la la. Ride a white mare in the footsteps of dawn, trying to find a woman who's never, never, never been born. Standing on the hill in the mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems.
And that, the very first song on the Mount Rockmore of Led Zeppelin 4. We've got more to come, at least 3 other songs, and that's out of the 8 iconic songs from Led Zeppelin 4, celebrating 48 years in our ear holes. On the way, one that came with quite a legend, and not just at every guitar shop around the country to people who are trying out new guitars. That's on the way here on Mount Rockmore.
It's hard enough to drink until the endless hours of the morning if you are a celebrity. I mean, how much is a world-class athlete supposed to find much-needed time for the little boys' room? Hi, I'm Colts running back Dominic Rose, and when I drunkenly stumble out of a bar at 3 o'clock in the morning after holding my whiz for hours, I need some urinary relief. That's why I use Manti Liners. I can just go when I'm on the go. Countless hours of Manti Liners' rigorous urine stream testing has proven me, my girlfriend, my entire posse, and the whole Colts offensive line could take a leak in my boxer briefs and leave no unsightly wet marks. But don't take my word for it. Manti Liners have been tested by some of Hollywood's hardest drinkers, like Tara Reid.
Oh my god, I just puked in Dominic Rodeo's underpants and there's no leakage. And with the odor absorption, you can't even smell that I just pounded 13 Appletinis.
And Black Eyed Peas star Fergie.
Actually, I've never heard of Manti Liners.
Oh yeah, Fergie, we know. Don't feel like you have to hold your bladder like a camel anymore. Finally, you can drink Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton under the table and not have to worry about burdening your bladder or khakis again. Get my Dominic Rose Manti Liners today because you don't have the time and cop cars don't have the absorption.
Breaking down the best 4 songs.
This is Mount Rockmore.
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Well, it's one that's guaranteed to disappoint. Anytime I do this show, it disappoints, because it's never the same songs you guys pick. It's all the songs that I get to pick here on Mount Rockmore. Today we're celebrating the 48th anniversary of Led Zeppelin 4, and I got to do the impossibly impossible. Not just pick 4 iconic songs from one band, I got to pick 4 iconic songs from one album from one iconic band. So that's what I'm chiseling away at here today. And some of you are already saying to yourselves, man, this dude is not picking the right songs from Led Zeppelin 4. He sucks balls. Listen, I've been called way worse by people I've slept with, but I hear you. And I want you to hit me up on Twitter at Mount Rockmore. That's at MTROCKMORE, at Mount Rockmore. Follow our Facebook page at Mount Rockmore Podcast, because at the end of this episode, I'm going to tell you how you can program our next episode of Mount Rockmore. Now, let's speed up my anxiety on the premise of this whole podcast. my possibly most challenging decisions yet. 48th birthday of Zeppelin 4, arguably the Mount Rockmore of Led Zeppelin albums. And I am tasked with picking the 4 album-defining songs. Tasked like some bosses telling me, well, you'd better do this or your ass is fired. Right. And now, this is all for the love of it, all for the love of the music, but also for the hate provided by you for my choices on Facebook and on Twitter. So, song number 2. I'm looking at the list. I'm looking literally the album in front of me here, and I'm going, how am I going to do this? Looking at the list, song number 2 to be hammered into my Mount Rockmore comes with an incredible legend. But, contrary to rumors, there are no backwards messages on Stairway to Heaven. I mean, it sounds cool. It's a great legend, but all that is just something that has been thrown at it since the record was done. It wasn't until the 80s, after Zeppelin broke up, that the ideas started getting aired in public that there was backward masking on Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven. It had to do with that religious backlash that happened in those days, the PMRC. People were reading satanic messages into Dungeons and Dragons, and this album, this song, technically was just one more target for them. So the band technically did use backward sounds for the oral effect, but they weren't trying to put any messages out there. Unlike if you listen to this podcast backwards, you'll hear me send back an order of perfectly good buffalo wings for fear of my ever-growing man boobs. Here's our second Mount Rockmore installation, Stairway to Heaven. Man, when this is... Yeah, I mean, you knew this was going to be on there, but still, when you look at this and you go, you've only got 2 more songs you can pick, Bower, this is going to be an extremely tough Mount Rockmore. Happy 48th birthday, Zeppelin 4.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. She's buying a stairway here. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts of this here. be alone now. It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. And it makes me wonder. Your head is humming and it won't go. In case you don't know, the piper's calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind? And she's buying a stairway to
And that is our foray into side one of Led Zeppelin 4. We've had two songs off of side two. You had Misty Mountain Hop going to California. Now we're at Stairway to Heaven. I can't believe I got to try to tackle this and find the four best songs off Led Zeppelin 4 for their Mount Rockmore of Led Zeppelin 4, celebrating its 48th birthday today. All right, so the two songs. Officially, the play-in was Misty Mountain Hop. Not a part. It could fit into any place on those four songs of the Mount Rushmore of Led Zeppelin 4 songs, Mount Rockmore as we call it here. But you got Going to California and now Stairway to Heaven. So we're down to the last two spots available here. And 48th anniversary of Led Zeppelin 4 is not just iconic because of the 8 amazing, well, I mean, looking at the album here, 7 amazing, one, kind of weird track. The one you go and grab the next beer during or pack the bowl during, that song. But also because this album carried a great big place in cinematic history, right? You guys remember. I mean, who could forget this lesson from Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Look, what do I say to her once we get in the car?
No problem, Red. What you need is my special 5-point plan.
Come on, Damone, I need real help here.
What do you mean? Hey, men have died trying to obtain this valuable information, you know. But I'll give it to you for free.
Okay, what's your 5-point plan?
All right. Now pay attention. First of all, Rat, you never let on how much you like a girl. Oh, Debbie. Hi. 2, you always call the shots. Kiss me. You won't regret it. Now 3, act like wherever you are, that's the place to be. Isn't this great? 4, when ordering food, you find out what she wants, then order for the both of you. It's a classy move. Now the lady will have the linguine and white clam sauce and a Coke with no ice. And 5, now this is most important, Rat. It comes down to making out. Whenever possible, put on side 1 of Led Zeppelin 4.
And that iconic scene from Fast Times at Ridgemont High put and implanted Led Zeppelin 4 into our minds forever. Ironically, I don't want to give a lot away here, but it's very possible that the song that they just went into there will have no place in our top 4 when it comes to the Mount Rockmore of Led Zeppelin 4. But let's just get back to this, shall we? Elaborate cover for the album, elaborate drum track, elaborate vocals. The third song we are etching into and offering at the stone altar of Mount Rockmore for Led Zeppelin 4 on this iconic mountainside is Rock and Roll. On this Mount Rockmore.
Ooh,
right, we've got one more space available on this very coveted piece of real estate we call Mount Rockmore. One spot left, and we've got like what feels like another 8 songs to technically choose from Led Zeppelin 4. However, I will come back with somebody who I think is incredibly cool on social media, on YouTube, a young person listening to old classic rock and giving his initial reaction to it, and I'll hook you up with the drink you should be having, and you can make while you're listening to this very podcast to celebrate the 48th anniversary of Led Zeppelin 4. All of that coming up as we continue. Really, honestly, the most challenging Mount Rockmore I've done to date. The Mount Rockmore of Led Zeppelin 4 next.
Hi, this is Lance with Cockshot. You're going to be feeling wonderful all day because you're going to be taking shots at cocks left and right like a pro. Now, here's a guy, 1 shot to the cock, mild testicle damage, 2 shots, destroyed cock in seconds. Now watch this. You're going to add in some garlic, okay? Here we go. I'm going to put some garlic in. All right, and you keep going. You completely blow apart that cock, I mean it's gone, and you got a piece of garlic mashed to a dick. Now, you love tapping guys in the nuts, but you don't like touching balls with your hands. You know you don't like guy berries anywhere near your fingers, that's why you wear gloves in the public restroom. 1 shot. Cock salad. Now look, I love a good ball punch as much as the next guy, but once in a while you really gotta send a message to make sure they don't forget. This is gonna change the way you punch dicks. Big dicks, little dicks, crooked dicks. 5 seconds. 4 or 5 seconds, the guy's on the ground, you really hurt his branch. Oh. Now see, this nut shot is boring. Stop having a boring nut shot. Stop having a boring life. Cock shot these 2 guys here. Voila, it's a miracle. Congratulations, yada, yada, yada. Now, here's a hard-boiled egg. It's kind of like a testicle. Look at that, unrecognizable. Now, add a cornichon for the dick, and here we go. Don't have time to screw up your balls? Now you do. So here's the deal, kids. You buy the cock shot, you're gonna get the Crundleman for gravy. Brown gravy, white gravy, inside the modifier, ignite the salt, and watch this. Hot dog, bauxite, Dave Matthews Band, sex with a horse. It's so easy. If I can cock shot someone with 1 finger, you can do it with your whole hand. I mean, blast somebody's dick out the back of their jeans. Kids can do it. I'm talking serious dick damage. Guys, we're gonna make America's meat bananas hurt 1 cock shot at a time.
I just slap a cock, wash it, and put it away.
It's a very quick dick punch. It's a real time saver.
It's so easy. It's just like bam, 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 bam. My boyfriend gets so winded.
The cock shot sells for $4.95, but if you call on March 21st, 2018, you're gonna get the Crundleman free plus 9 Jesus cards. Here's how to order.
To order your cockshot plus free Crundleman and Jesus cards, just dial 1-800-FUCK.
Breaking down the best 4 songs.
This is Mount Rockmore.
You are a blinding, brilliant light from heaven.
Thank you. I don't feel like it right now. This is a tough one to do. I gotta be honest with you. Just taking one album, and this one album, by the way, has only 8 songs on it, and most of those 8 are iconic rock songs from Led Zeppelin 4, celebrating 48 years today. That said, how do you pick these 4? Like, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, when you're making out, just play the entire first side of Led Zeppelin 4. Well, those are tough songs to choose. That in and of itself could be your 4 iconic songs. And then you get over to side 2, and we've already covered 2 of the songs that are there. So this is a very challenging Mount Rockmore. We're down to the final spot available. Now, personally, I love it when I catch my 12-year-old daughter singing Bon Jovi or Sammy Hagar at the top of her lungs. I love it when my 5-year-old daughter asks Alexa or Hey Google to play Green Day for her. I feel like my job as rocker dad is done. But kick-ass rock and roll is not just limited to those of us who grew up listening to Led Zeppelin 4 on a record player or a 2 for Tuesday or a triple shot weekend. No. In fact, this dude has a YouTube channel, and he does this cool thing where he listens to music he's hearing for the first time, generally some cool classic rock stuff, David Bowie, Led Zeppelin 4. In this particular case, I love the reaction that Nick Taylor has about listening to one of these songs off of Led Zeppelin 4.
Okay, so a few different elements that I liked in that song. I like how they would sing, and they would like cut out all the instruments, and then they'd just come back in. I love the part where it was like, oh yeah, and a little, I like that part a lot. If you're not new to these videos, y'all know I like the little stuff, man. Like the little melodies and the little things they do with their vocals. For some reason, the lines took too long before I found out what people mean by down and out. Like for some reason, I just like that part. Because until you really like go through something, bro, you really don't know what it feels like to be like down and out, you know what I mean? And I'm not even saying that I've experienced being like down and out. And I just like how that was worded. Black Dog, named after a Labrador dog that wandered around the studio while Led Zeppelin was recording. Robert Plant lamenting about a failed relationship with a gold digger. Although the title was inspired by an actual dog, the term Black Dog has been used to refer to negative emotions, as well as a hellhound, a mythical creature that follows someone before they die. Love the stories behind there, love the inspirations behind songs, just love how they called it Black Dog after a dog that was just going around the studio.
Yeah, I thought that was cool too. But what I also wondered for a long time, and Nick didn't address this at all in his Nick Taylor Uploads, that's where you can find him on YouTube, is what's the sound at the beginning of this track? What is that sound? It turns out Jimmy Page did a lot of overdubbing on guitars, a lot of overdubbing. So when you've got 3 separate tracks of guitars being played and synced up together so that you can make that work, sometimes you have this little rollover at the start. And this is the tape rolling at the beginning. It could have been cut out. It's just them lining up the separate tracks. It's just them lining up the separate tracks of the guitars, but Jimmy Page wanted them to leave it in, thinking it sounded a lot more like the massing of the guitar armies. This is the 4th and final song. Get your guitar armies lined up. Black Dog on Mount Rockmore.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
puts the finishing touches on this episode of Mount Rockmore, the 48th anniversary of Led Zeppelin 4. By the way, if you're looking for something to drink while listening to this very podcast, now that it's the end of it, of course, I'm telling you, perhaps when you replay it and listen to it and tell your friends about it, it's a drink called To Find a Queen Without a King from Led Zeppelin 4, reference to going to California. And this involves 2 ounces of Herradura Reposado tequila, a half ounce of fresh lime juice, a quarter ounce of Dirty Sioux olive juice, 3 ounces of Yarritos grapefruit soda or the equivalent, 3 queen stuffed olives, and 1 rosemary spear. Enjoy yourself that while you're listening to some Led Zeppelin. You can follow us on Twitter at MTROCKMORE. That's Mount Rockmore on Twitter, and on Facebook at Mount Rockmore Podcast. Now, starting tomorrow, both of those locations will have a poll where you can decide our next Mount Rockmore artist to, and in always failing fashion, determine the 4 career-defining songs of their career. I'll tell you guys now. Got some requests in to make sure we cover more 80s stuff. So the 3 that were suggested on Twitter involve Europe, Tesla, Winger, and we're throwing in 1 additional one for Run DMC. Those you can start voting on tomorrow for next week's Mount Rockmore. Till next time, tell your Mount Rockmore friends about this podcast. Like us on iTunes. I'm Bower. See ya.